What's up, YouTube? It's Bullseye Nate 231, and today I'm going to be showing you how to change the brakes and rotors on the rear of a 2003 Toyota 4Runner. This one was really bad. As you can see, the metal shavings were starting to shred. The rotor's all chewed up in there. So I'm going to show you how to do it step by step. All right, the first thing we're going to do is make sure we get all of the lugs broke loose before we jack the vehicle up. You can use a tire T-bar or a 21 millimeter. This is a 1/2 inch extendable ratchet. So I'm going to loosen all those and then jack up the vehicle. All right, so I found a good jacking point there on the axle. So we're going to go on up with it and just get it up enough so that it comes off the ground. Keep in mind, this is a rear wheel vehicle, so you want to make sure you block all of the tires so that the vehicle doesn't roll when the tire comes off the ground. Also, don't forget to put your jack stand at a good jacking point. All right, now that we got the vehicle in the air and the tires off the ground, I'm going to switch to the impact so I can run these lugs out real fast. Again, this is a 21 millimeter. Don't forget, most Toyotas have a lock. This is the key lock lug. So if you have one of those, make sure you use it accordingly. All right, now we're ready to take the tire off. All right, so we got the tire removed and we're gonna be changing the rotor and the pads. This is gonna be exactly the same for both sides of the vehicle. So I'm just gonna show you how to do it on this side. It'll be exactly the same on the other side. Again, this lock is usually found in your glove box or in your little leather bag that has the jacking things for if you have a flat tire. But as you can see, these brakes have been worn down. We're going metal on metal. So it's been pretty bad. So we're going to change all those out. So the first thing you want to do is you want to locate your 4 bolts. Because we are changing the rotor, we're going to have to take the entire caliper off. So the 2 caliper mounting bolts are going to be here, and there's going to be one right underneath here, down here where my hand's at, right there. So those are the 2 bolts. You're gonna have one on the top, one on the bottom, and the whole caliper is gonna come off when you disconnect that. The other thing you can do is you can take apart the actual caliper so that you can actually change out the pads if you're not having to change the rotor. So all you would do is take out this bolt, and there's one directly underneath it, these 2. And so I'm gonna go ahead and loosen those, take them off, and then show you what to do next. All right, so we got the caliper mounting bolts disconnected, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide the whole entire caliper off. I'm going to twist it up. What just fell was one of the brake shoes. As you can see, this one was grinding solid on the metal. So, in fact, they were wearing a little uneven. So this one was grinding solid on the metal. We're going to go ahead and make sure we replace that. And because the rotor is so grind up, we're going to have to replace the rotor too. Sometimes these rotors can be a pain, so you can get a hammer and hit them if they're hard to get on there. But I'm just going to start wiggling. You see the whole thing comes right off. I'll put that to the side. All right, and now we're ready to open up the new rotor. If you got brake cleaner, you can go ahead and clean all this up. I'm going to do that so that all of that's looking good. And we're going to install the new rotor. All right, so to install the new rotor, all you do is simply push it back on. Keep in mind, they do oil these rotors so that they do not rust in the box. So what I do is I like to clean both sides, the front and back, just where the brake pads are going to be. You can leave the oil residue here. That'll keep those from rusting for a little while, but make sure you clean where your brake surface is going to be. So now that I've got the new rotor installed, again, you just push it on there. This is a multi-use rotor, so you can use it on different vehicles. Make sure you line up the correct holes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take apart the caliper and the mounting bracket for the caliper. So again, that is these 2 bolts. This one and this one. I've already broke them loose, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take them off and show you how to put the new pads in. All right, so once you have the caliper mounting bracket disconnected, you want to just take your caliper and turn it over. And we're gonna need to get a C-clamp. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the C-clamp like this and we're going to tighten it all the way down. I can't hold the phone and do this at the same time, but as you tighten the C-clamp, this piston inside the caliper is going to push back in. You want to make sure you push that all the way back because it's pushed out because the brakes were so worn. And so we're going to push that piston all the way back in, and then I'll show you how to reinstall the new pads. All right, so we got the piston pushed all the way back with the C-clamp. As you can see, when you push it all the way back in, it should look like this. Ensure that your rubber gasket is positioned correctly so it doesn't get pinched when the brakes start working again. And now I'm going to show you how to change the hardware in the mounting bracket. All right, so this is the caliper mounting bracket. So every time you purchase new brakes, they typically give you new hardware. So you want to make sure you do put the new hardware back on, and they simply just pop in like so. As you can see, I have done all 4 of them. This little rubber gasket was glued and it came unglued, so I'm going to be sure to put it back in between when I reinstall the actual brake pads. But anyway, what we're going to do is I'm going to put this back over here, and it's going to sit just like this. And what's going to happen is we're going to rebolt this back into place, and then I'm going to set my new brake shoes in. 1 second. All right, so you can set your mounting bracket back. The reason I was having a little bit of a problem there was because I didn't have my rotor pushed back all the way, so make sure you push it back all the way. And then once you get them set like that, you can actually get the new pad and set it in just like so. So you just line it up and push it in. Make sure you get the top and the bottom aligned correctly so that it doesn't go anywhere. And then you can tighten up that mounting bracket. All right, so once both pads are in, you should look like this. And then you want to go ahead and retighten this bracket back to the backside of the rotor, the wheel hub. So, and then once this is tight, we're ready to reinstall your pins and the caliper. All right, so now I'm going to reinstall the pins in the actual caliper onto the caliper mounting bracket. And as you can see, I remembered to put back in that little rubber grommet that had come loose. So again, you're going to take your 17mm and you're going to tighten those down to spec. All right, so once everything is all tight, it should all look like this. The caliper and the caliper mounting bracket and the rotor should all be reassembled just like you found it, except not all ground down. And now we are going to check everything, make sure it all looks good, and reinstall the tire. All right, so we got the tire back on and everything's tight. We went ahead and cleaned this rim because it was in dire need of some cleaning and TLC because of how caked on all that metal and brake dust was. But anyway, this is how you change the rear brake pads and rotors on a Toyota 4Runner. This will be exactly the same for Toyota 4Runners 2003 through 2009, and pretty similar for all other Toyota models. So anyway, that is how you change the rear brake pads and rotors. Thanks for watching. I hope this video was helpful. And don't forget to subscribe and comment with any questions you may have. Y'all have a great day.